After spending 2 weeks in Koh Lanta, we have taken the speedboat to go further down south to a very small island, very close to the Malaysian border already, and it's called Koh Lipe. It looks already like a small paradise, so the beaches are super white and the water is crystal clear, but at the same time there's also quite a lot of tourists here. So in this video we want to show you the things that we really liked and the things that we didn't like so much, so you can decide on your own whether you still would like to see this island or not. In the end we will also give you our personal opinion about it, but you have to decide on your own. Now, welcome to Koh Lipe.
So the island was originally populated by a semi-nomadic people. They were also known as sea gypsies by the Thais, and they are the Uraklawe people. But in the last years, the island changed a lot due to the globalization and tourism. And now there are more or less 800 to 1,000 inhabitants on the island. And each year, the island receives more than 1 million visitors. So usually you would find much more tourists than locals on the island. Apart from its beautiful beaches, the island is also very known for its coral reefs. So it's a popular destination for scuba diving and snorkeling. The island is inside of the Tarutao National Park, which is a big group of islands at the border with Malaysia.
We were staying for only 1 weekend here in Koh Lipe. Our original plan was to stay here for at least a week, but when we saw that the accommodation prices were at least the double than in Koh Lanta, we decided to only stay for the weekend.
Which is understandable because the island is so small and it's so popular among the international tourists.
I think there's not even enough accommodation for the high amount of demand. And we got the impression that the island is extremely famous among the Chinese and Spanish-speaking tourists. So this is our first morning here in Koh Lipe. So we woke up at 6, we went to the beach that's called Sunrise Beach. Yes, there's a sunrise and a sunset beach so that everyone knows where you should go to see one of them. So we came here walking. It's only like 10 minutes from where we're staying. Basically the whole island is so small that you can do everything by walking, which is very, very handy. And when we arrived at the Sunrise Beach, there were already lots of people. I was surprised that we will see so many people because sunrise here is at 6:41. I mean, the island is extremely small, and if there's only a handful of people, it already seems full. There's lots of hotels, there's lots of restaurants, there's lots of touristic places so that the people find somewhere to stay. When I checked the accommodation for Koh Lipe, it's per night double the price than other places. It cost us 50 euros per night, and usually we pay around 25 to 30 euros for 2 people. So it's still okay, but it is more expensive than other islands. Okay, now we have been walking around the beaches a little bit, especially the Sunrise Beach right now. We went for a snorkel, and yes, there are lots of tourists, but it is really pretty. I mean, there are taxi boats that take you for 100 baht to the other island, which is right next to it, where you can go snorkel and do the hike. We're planning to do this tomorrow, but there's lots and lots of boats, so this means that there's lots and lots of demand. But right now, here in the beach, there's not too many people. It's pretty okay. It's still kind of, well, not so early in the morning. It's 9:40 now, and it's still quite okay in the beach. There are some people, but it's not too full. So I'm really pleasantly surprised by this, that it's not that crowded now here in the beach. And the water is really, really blue. I haven't seen it this blue in whole Thailand yet. Usually the water has like this greenish tone because of the plankton that is in there. But so yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised that it's here very, very nice, the water. And if we had more time here, I think that we probably would dive. But since we only have 2 days, we want to see the beaches and go to kayaking, hiking. So there's lots of plans, and therefore we only go snorkeling now. We are now here at the south of Koh Lipe, which is basically the main beach, and you can find around here lots of restaurants. You can find cafes and bars, and also the pier. You know, the long plastic thing that is going into the sea? That's the pier where we arrived with the speedboat. I don't think that big ferries can actually come here due to this pier. And the prices here in Koh Lipe are 30% higher than, for example, 7-Eleven, more or less, than on the other islands, and we think that it's due to the long transport and because big ferries cannot come here. So just keep that in mind if you want to come to Koh Lipe, that it's a little bit more expensive than other islands. And over there's also the immigration office, so where we have to stop by when we want to go to Langkawi on Monday. It's funny, there's 2 houses and you have to go to one, and it's a beach, and then you just go on the speedboat. It's a nice beach, but I prefer the ones in the north. So we came now to the Sunset Beach. It's around 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. Sun will go down here more or less at 6 p.m., a little bit later. And here we're supposed to see the sunset very nicely. It is 10-15 minutes walking distance, or maybe 20 minutes walking distance from the center of Koh Lipe, so it was not that bad. And we're actually a little bit disappointed that we didn't bring our swimming suits with us, because here there are not so many boats, so you could actually go for a swim or a little bit for a snorkel, and it looks very nice. Besides this, we are pretty sweaty now after walking in the hot sun to this beach. But it's worth it, it's very nice, it's calm. There's only one bar at the other part, and besides this, people are coming here to see the sunset basically. Okay, Lee came back with a coconut and a beer, and there's a lady there. We just saw her before with a gin, so he said, hey, do you also have beer and a coconut? And for 140 baht, which is around €3. And it's amazing here, sitting on the beach. Now it's getting a little chillier because it was a very hot day and there's no breeze right now. So now it's just enjoying the evening, and see you probably tomorrow.
Cheers!
But of course, we also went to see how the nightlife is on Koh Lipe.
There are plenty of seafood restaurants, barbecue places, beach bars, and nice places with live music.
The atmosphere was very nice, and you could find something for every taste. Which for us is a more local restaurant, and get some Massaman curry.
And Pad Kra Pao.
Okay, now started our last full day here in Koh Lipe, and our plan for today is go to the other island, which is called Koh Adang. We're gonna take the taxi boat that costs 100 baht, and then on the other side we will do a nice hike. Okay, that is more adventure than I expected. The waves are just insane. Ah! So we just arrived with the taxi boat to the island of Koh Adang. It was quite a ride because the waves are pretty high today. So we got pretty wet, the camera as well. So Lee just went to the toilet to get it cleaned. And but here's the camping that seems very chill. It's super nice. So if you're coming to Koh Lipe and you bring your own tent, I think you can stay here. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's super calm. So pretty nice. I would do this if I were you and had a tent and want to come on low budget to Koh Lipe. But now we are going to start our hike. Koh Adang is part of the national park that is also Koh Lipe. So when we entered Koh Lipe, we had to pay 200 baht per person. And with these tickets, we can also come to these islands. So I heard that sometimes there's a ranger here who asks for more money to enter the national park. I don't think that you have to do that. So I think that's a scam. So if you come here, bring your tickets that you got from the entrance in Koh Lipe, and then you're good. So let's see how the hike is gonna be. Okay, we have read that for doing this hike, it's not a super easy hike. So therefore bring good shoes and don't try to go in flip-flops. Bring enough water, and I think it depends on your fitness level, between 45 minutes and 1.5 hours to go up. There are 3 viewpoints. They say the nicest one is the second one. Let's see if we're gonna do all 3 today, and let's see how difficult it's really gonna be. Okay, when we just started the track, literally 5 minutes in, there was a girl sitting on the floor, and I was just like scared, what's happening? And then she was like, there's monkeys everywhere. And there were literally around 20 monkeys around us. Even a mother with this child, and that was super cute. These monkeys, because they're living here in the nature, they are not that used to tourists, so they don't come and steal your things or ask for food, or so they were really super quietly sitting there in the tree and just looking at you. and trying to interact somehow with us. So this was a very, very nice experience. I really enjoyed it. And then now we actually have to still get up, and it's getting kind of hot already. So we really recommend you to take the earliest boat, or very early in the morning. They told us that they start around 9:30 in the morning. So I would get one of these, or then in the afternoon, evening, because otherwise it's gonna be way too hot, and it's kind of steep. It's not the easiest hike, so preferably doing it with some shade, wind, and not in the hottest moments of the day. Okay, so we made it to the second viewpoint, and it is incredible. I think it took us around 30 minutes and now we are doing lots of photos and videos up here because it is just incredibly beautiful. You can see that there's lots of corals under the water. You can see the white of the sand. You can see extremely blue ocean, and it's just so beautiful. If you're in Koh Lipe and you have a morning or an afternoon off or no plans, I think it makes complete sense to come here. We have met on our way now 2 people, no more, and this island here is so much more relaxing than Koh Lipe itself, but you have such a beautiful view on Koh Lipe, and it makes complete sense to come here. After doing a little bit of research and searching, we actually found some places where you could have good local food for affordable prices. To the end of this video, and as we promised in the beginning, we would like to give a small conclusion. In the beginning I was skeptical whether I'm gonna like the island or not, due to the tourism that is very intense here already. So the walking street is very busy, especially during the night, but during the day the tourists are in different places, so you don't feel it that much, I would say. And the island itself is really, really pretty. So
It is.
So therefore I'd say I would come here again, and I would do it again. I think a weekend, a few days is more than enough, because since the island is pretty small, you can see everything in a very short time. If you don't mind that there's more tourists around, and it will not be this secluded island in the middle of nowhere, then I think you will have a good time here.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
So thank you for watching, and we see you in the next one.
See you next one in
Bye.
Malaysia.